Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Hump Day. It's so good that you guys are tuning in. Thank you to all of my returners. Thank you to my new friends. This is the Breakfast Show. I am Marisha LaShay, your host, and this is day 9 of the Breakfast Show. This show will be in effect for the next 3 weeks, 21 days. You can always catch the show in the months of April, June, September, and November. Those are the days that have 30 days. So, of course, you will get 30 days worth of content. That has always been the vision and how this whole ordeal got started. Meanwhile, with that being said, I always love to give honor to God who's the head of my life. Second thing that I always love to do is to be able to kind of recap what the actual goals are for the breakfast show. And one of those goals is to actually be able to create reach in other countries. We currently have 17 countries. So kudos to us, but also kudos to you for your support and being able to share it and get it out there to other people to hear and to listen. I definitely appreciate that because I know none of this is possible without you all, without God sending you all to me. So I'm definitely thankful for that opportunity to be able to be before you all and to use my platform for something positive. Third thing is being able to hit listeners. From starting off from one listener all the way to 1,500 is a blessing. And I don't take it lightly because I know that there's everybody doing what I am doing. There are so many people out here with podcasts. There are so many people doing some of the same things. There are some of the same people talking about some of the same things, but they're not me. And that's what sets me different, set me apart from them of being different and unique in my own way. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on into the mental check-in. How are you feeling today on a scale from 1 to 10? 1 being the worst day of your life and 10 being the best day of your life. So with that being said, can I be below a 1 or above a 10? Absolutely. You can feel however that you want to feel. Nobody's able to deter you from that feeling. Because again, mental health is important. You know, how you start your day is important because it often dictates what are your day is actually going to be like. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and share with you all how I am feeling. I am feeling very reserved. I say I'm about like a 8, very reserved, feeling very productive, just getting in the start of things and just being able to get the work done. Like batch creating and recording is a lifesaver because again, you're not running late about anything. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and create these episodes. That way you can go ahead and just still do your everyday today thing. So, with that being said, you guys, I want to share with you all the question of the day. The question of the day. The question of the day. Do you ever find yourself anxious? Do you ever find yourself anxious? And I want to go ahead and share my notes with you all in regards to what Oxford Dictionary said the word anxious means. They have two definitions, of course. The first definition is experiencing worry, unease, or nervousness, typically about an adamant event or something with an uncertain outcome. Okay. It's the first definition for anxious. Second, wanting something very much, typically with a feeling of unease. Hmm. Interesting. And the word anxious is an adjective because, again, you're describing how you're feeling. And with that being said, let's go ahead and unpack this a little more. So when they said worry, how often are you worrying on a day-to-day basis? And what are you worried about? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you worried about bills? Are you worried about just staying focused? What exactly are you worried about? And for me, when I start my day, again, I'm always starting with meditation. Okay, because again, when I'm feeling anxious, all I want to do is be able to come down. And I normally have to tell myself, first and foremost, I have to acknowledge, okay, That's the first thing. I have to acknowledge that I'm feeling anxious. That is the first thing that you always want to do is to acknowledge what you are actually feeling in that moment. The second thing that you want to be able to do is find out the rationale as to why you are anxious. Find out why you are actually anxious in regards to your worry and your unease or your nervousness. And that may be right before a presentation. There might be as you're awaiting a decision, and oftentimes I find myself getting anxious about teaching, especially when I've been having back to back to back to back observations. It makes me anxious. The back of my shirt is wet. I can't really sit still. But again, I have acknowledged that I'm anxious and I have begun to figure out what is causing this anxiousness. Those are the two steps that you definitely have to be able to get together in that moment. And then the third thing is being able to create your um checklist of things that you do to bring yourself off the edge. And if that is the case at the top of the morning, I'm feeling anxious, I need to be in meditation. That's one of my techniques. Another thing that I do is just breathing and walking, breathing and walking, just kind of walking it off and praying, walking it off and praying, walking it off and walking it down, just um citing affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my strategies is to breathe, to walk, and cite affirmations. Those are the three things that I normally do when I am feeling very anxious. Because again, being anxious could look different for different people and it can happen. Is this normal? Absolutely. Kids get anxious, adults get anxious, everybody gets anxious. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, how do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Um, let's go ahead and dig a little deeper with being anxious. Some of your behaviors that you may exhibit: excessive worrying, avoidance, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, irritability, pacing or hand wrenching, just thoughts, negative self talk, um, catastrophizing, repeating or dwelling on past mistakes, fear of failure, apprehension, feeling worried about that something might happen, sense of dread, having a general feeling of unease and foreboding, anxious thoughts such as having a stream of thoughts that are worrying, fearful, or panic inducing, worrying about the future, worrying about getting hurt. Okay. So your thoughts can vary. It just don't necessarily have to be on just what you're seeing right in the moment. It could be something that happened to someone else. It could be something that may have transpired with you. So you just have to be able to figure out what it is that you need to do to make yourself feel comfortable again, as if you were originally comfortable. Um, but I also went to go get professional help as well because it was just like, dang, I just feel so anxious. And when you're feeling anxious, that could be an onset of anxiety. And I know another example is when kids are getting ready to take a test, they start freaking out. You know what I'm saying? It could be a big deal. And what do you do in that moment to calm them down? And what do you do in that moment to be able to get them to, you know, breathe, breathe? You were able to talk them through and model for them what that looks like. Like, okay, I just need a moment. I just need to close my eyes. I just need to imagine soothing music. I just need to imagine myself in a good space. These are other techniques that you can actually do. Close stopping the show. And when I say stopping the show, stopping whatever it is in that moment, just to kind of get into your space, like just closing your eyes, whether you're praying, whether you are thinking about yourself being in a good place. You want to be able to handle that and to teach your children how to handle being anxious. And be patient with the person when you notice their body language. Hey, you all right? Are you okay? How can I help? How can I support? Saying things like that lets the person know that you can be okay and you will be okay. But don't act like that it's not there just because you don't want to deal, with it. And you might make other people nervous, or you might make other people feel uncomfortable because they've never seen you like this. But again, it happens, especially when you have a lot going on. It does happen, and it can feel like you don't know what to do, or everything is like kind of closing in on you, and your mind just racing and it can't stop, and you can't sleep. So I have to begin to just watch some TV, pray again. Something that's going to make it positive for me, something that is going to give me positive affirmation about what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. So, yes, y'all. So, if anything resonated with you today, please feel free to write that down in your notes. Please feel free to run this video back. Please feel free to check in any of my other content that I may have posted. It is up to you and it is free to you. Thank you guys for tuning in to my talk on being anxious and how to deal with being anxious and the onset of anxiety. Thank you guys for tuning in. That is the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace.